Okay, here we have it, the first work for Ireland by foot. Not bad. I decided to go for a well-known mountain. It's not an easy mountain by any stretch of imagination, but it's a well-known mountain. Behind me we can see Croagh Patrick, or the Reek as I call it. I'm not local, I'm from Castlebar, it's one town over. The Reek is in a small village called Murrisk. It's about 5 miles outside Westport. That'd be the most well-known town nearby. Called Croagh Patrick because it has a lot to do with St. Patrick himself. There's loads of folklore about this mountain, and it stretches way back past Christianity, even back into pagan times. It was a holy mountain back then. But today with me I have my dog. Say hi. I won't tell you her name. She's a terrible name. I didn't name her, my niece and nephew did. She was there before she was mine. But you might find out later, don't worry. I'm looking at about 3 hours, I'd say. Right behind me here we have our first real landmark on the mountain. It's the statue of St. Patrick himself. It's a very common part of the pilgrimage that's done here on the mountain every Reek Sunday, which is the last Sunday in July. You're supposedly supposed to do laps of the statue as you're saying a few Hail Marys, usually a full decade of the Rosary. Just part of the tradition. Another weird tradition they have here on Reek Sunday is actually climbing the whole mountain barefoot, which isn't a very good idea because it's treacherous ground up there. You will tear your feet up. But this spot, it also gives you your first opportunity to turn around and look at what is an absolutely beautiful landscape of Climb Bay. I'm just going to show you this now for a second. There's a few more landmarks, we'll see them when we get up there. Until then, talk to you. I've decided to stop here to show you a negative aspect of climbing mountains regularly. There's no mountain climbing more often than Croagh Patrick here in Ireland, without a shadow of a doubt. And the evidence of that is plain to see. We have crazy scarring going the side of the mountain with this. It used to be a small little track, but through millions, literally millions of people climbing it over decades and decades and decades, it's created this horrible scar on the mountain. It's a con, but it's one you have to accept. You just have to accept it. It's a wonderful mountain. It's popular because of the pilgrimage and tourism in general, so you just have to accept it. But I just wanted to point that out. Alright, we're at the halfway mark. It's getting very windy. We're sheltered down below, but now it's hitting crazy right now. I'm raising my voice because I'm not sure if you can hear me over the wind or not. After the halfway mark, the terrain becomes a little bit different. If you've seen down there, it's kind of like the track's been beaten down through the peat to find the bedrock. Further up now, it's going to be just walking on pure scree, which is lots of boulders and rocks that have come loose and just lined that side of the mountain. It's a little bit more difficult, a bit more cumbersome. The rocks will be a little bit loose, but it's fine. It's not an impossible task. We'll manage it. Poor old princess is a bit tired. I thought she'd be well able for this, but she's become unfit recently, so we'll see how she gets on, but I'll take the rest of the way. It's a good spot now to get some food into you. You need sustenance, you need the fuel. Sandwich be grand, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Just a sandwich and a chocolate bar maybe is a good idea. But I'll take you further up now after this, after eating my food. See you then. Alright, hair's looking fantastic. Love this wind. Hopefully you can still hear me. But behind me here, right there, we have a little lake called Loch Croagh. Nothing spectacular, but apparently it was. This is the lake where St. Patrick banished the she-demon, who was also called Croagh or Cartanach, depending on which folklore you listen to. He banished it there after his 40-day fast on top of the mountain. Unfortunately, she escaped and went way far north to if you don't know your Irish geography, the furthest county north in the Republic of Ireland, County Donegal. She went to a lake there called Lough Derg. That's a big old lake now. And she went to an island on Lough Derg. He went there and fought her again. All he could do though was wound her. He couldn't beat her. And when he wounded her, her blood ran into the lake and made the lake pure red with the blood. And that's how the lake actually got its name. Because the Irish, the Gaelic for red is Jarrig. So if you say Lough Derg with a bit of an it's an Anglo accent, it becomes Lough Derg rather than Lough Jarrig. Lots of place names in Ireland have been affected by the Anglo pronunciation. Many places like, I don't know, lots of different little place names have been affected. I'm from County Mayo. That's how it's pronounced in English. In Irish, you'd call it County Mayo. Very interesting. I love all this Irish stuff. Hopefully you do too. Maybe that's why you're watching the video. But I'm going to take you back up the mountain now. And yeah, we'll get on up there. I'll talk to you again. I just want to stop for a second and give you kind of an aspect view of the second side of the mountain. There's absolutely nowhere to a passing shot. It's so steep, but you can really see the path going down ahead of me now and up behind me. And there's a beautiful shot of the backside of the mountain, so I'll just give that to you right now. It just swings on back to the flat section I was on when I hit the lunge. And here we have at the top of the mountain. I'm actually in the shadow of the church right now. I know there's a church on top of the mountain, who'd have thought? But it is a holy mountain after all. I've decided to do the last bit in the shadow because I'm actually sheltered from the wind. It is fierce windy up here. I tried doing this on the far side, but it was a little bit too windy, you couldn't hear anything. But behind me we see a few islands of Croagh Bay. It's the best thing about coming to the top of this mountain is the view of Croagh Bay, beautiful. They say there's an island for each day of the year, which roughly 365, 64. I wouldn't doubt it. There's plenty of islands in there. Tiny ones, large ones. There was an island out there back in '67 that John Lennon bought, a private island. I don't know what he did with it. Built a house, who knows? But he bought the damn thing. Yeah, it's a good old climb. It's nothing too hard. I was after talking to a guy who was drinking till 7 in the morning last night and climbed it here today. He started at 3 o'clock and he made it up in about 3 hours. It's good going. But I'm going to start taking you back down now. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'll do some more for you. I'll talk you back down the bottom of the mountain though. So see you then. But that's that. Climb is over, down. It was a lovely climb. No rain, which is a rarity here in Ireland. Princess made a good old job of it now, I must say. I hope you enjoyed the video. I do plan on making a lot more. And if you want, you can suggest mountains that you want me to try and climb and show you what they're like. Especially people from overseas like America or Australia, if you're watching at all. You know, look into your family's history, if they've got Irish heritage, and I can climb mountains in those areas. But yeah, definitely give me suggestions. I know what I want to climb, but what I want to climb might not be what you want to see. But yeah, thanks for watching and subscribe, please. You know you need those subscribers. That's that. But until next time, see you later, and be safe, okay?